My name is Lawrence Parham. I'm the founder of LPJ and Company. And what we're going to do is we're going to transform and modernize the diversity, equity, and inclusion space. It's about an $8 to $10 billion space. And the thing that's interesting about it is that we're going to use technology, by the way, and it is sort of untouched by technology. In that space now, they're using a lot of spreadsheets, okay? This morning when I woke up, I'm gonna talk about this real quick. This morning when I woke up, I saw this article, and I knew I had to do this presentation. And the article basically says, it's from Fortune magazine, chief diversity, and I couldn't put it inside the presentation, but chief diversity officers are being set up to fail, okay? And that's our marketplace, chief diversity officers. And one of the major value props that they're having, or problems that they're having, is they don't have the data that they need in order to make a difference, okay? And that's what we're going through. So I'm going to talk about the concept, a little bit about the audience, and then move through the complex business problem. So I used the simplest methodology that I could because I wasn't sure how many technical people were in the audience. So I didn't want to talk about, let's see, big data, analytics, algorithms. So I used an iceberg. So our organization is basically set up to tackle that iceberg for every organization that's out there. The current problem today is that chief diversity officers, they're just scratching the surface of what they're doing. They're at the tip of the iceberg. What our model does is actually goes through and we look at the whole entire organization or the whole entire iceberg, which currently is not there. Now, I know you all may be asking the question, how is this guy going to tackle a $8 to $10 billion marketplace? And I'm going to answer that question. It's what I do. I currently, I started off as a software developer. I moved through the ranks of all the way up to project executive. I worked at large corporations like GE, IBM, and EDS, which is now HP. So what we actually did during that time frame is change the world with a lot of the different projects that I worked on. And that's what I want to continue to do. I want to continue to change the world in what I'm doing. So we're going to add visible dashboards and help to make the chief diversity officers do their job better. When the chief diversity officers do their job better, then the organizations do their job better for the US. So companies are spending a lot of money in this area right now. When you look at Google, Google is invested about $150 million on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Intel spent $300 million over a fund that they put together, and also Apple has pledged $50 million to some nonprofits to get that going. This is a chart of how complex diversity is. Right now, that chart that I showed you before with the iceberg at the top, they're just looking at race and gender. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the whole diversity aspect and look and do deep dives into that iceberg that I showed you. Our key is our analytics that we're going to go through with our algorithms. Our target market are the EEO1 organizations. There are about 290,000 of those. And the funny part is I heard that about 150,000 of those organizations in the Washington, D.C. area under GovCon. So we're in a hot space. So we're going to tackle government, nonprofits, and Fortune 100. The total market size is about 8.2 billion on the low side. So what I've done is I've started validation interviews from a lean startup, and I've talked to organizations in the government as well as academia, have a partner relationship, not officially, but almost there, with Howard University. I'm not supposed to announce that yet, but. And then the other thing is we have some companies that express interest. For example, AT&T, I got a meeting with them next week, as well as Johnson Controls. The SBIR and NIH is another area for us to get seed funding. So that's the presentation. I'm here to build relationships. I thank Amanda and the program and my team members also for helping me get better at what we do so that we can help other companies get better at what they do.